Hi everyone, welcome to the online class Kilora. I'm Lavanya. So today in this class we are going to learn multi-currency transaction in Tally. So in Tally you can handle multi-currency transaction to facilitate the accounting in different currencies. So let's understand these multi-currency transactions in Tally and how you can manage this multi-currency transaction in Tally. So, in Tally, this multi-currency transaction allows business to manage a financial transaction in different currencies. So, this feature is useful for companies that deals with international trades and foreign investments are having a global operations. So, here is a overview of how to manage the multi-currency transaction in Tally. So, the first one is you have to enable the multi-currency, and the next thing you're gonna do is create a currencies, and after that you have to define the exchange rate, and you have to create a ledgers and record the transaction and convert the currencies and report it and analysis. This is how you manage the multi-currency transactions in Tally. So you're enabling the multi-currency, which means you have to go to the gateway of Tally, then you have to click on F11, which helps you by giving various options which is related to features, and then you have to click on accounting features, and then you have to select a multi-currency. This is how you enable the multi-currency. And the next thing is create a currency. You have to go to the gateway of Tally, and you have to click on a currency, and you have to select an option create. And next, after creating the currency, you have to define the exchange rate. So you have to go to the gateway of Tally and click on a currency, and before going to create the currency you have to click on exchange rate. If you need to create a currency, you have to select an option create. If you need to define an exchange rate, you have to click on a exchange rate. And after defining the exchange rate, you have to create a ledger. So you have to create this ledger for each currencies related. You'll have lot of currencies, so you have to create each ledger for each currency, and then you have to record the transaction according to the respective currency ledgers. And then you have to convert the currencies, like Tally automatically converts the transaction to the base currency you will be already set in the company system. So by using this you can use this defined exchange rate while converting the currency, and then you have to report and analyze. You have to generate this report and analyze the transaction in multi currencies. So this is how you manage the multi currency transaction in Tally here. And also this Tally supports multi currencies exchange rate and atomic currency conversion, and make it easy to manage international transaction and financial reporting. So here are few benefits for using multi-currency transactions in Tally, which includes easy management of international trade and finance. And the next one is atomic currency conversion, accurate financial reporting, compliant and with global accounting standards, simplified foreign exchange management. These are the some of the benefits which includes while having a multi-currency transaction in Tally. So by using this multi-currency features, business can effectively manage global financial transaction and can make a best informed decision too. So after knowing the meaning of this multi-currency transaction, and you have already understood how to manage this multi-currency transaction. So let's understand the benefits of using this multi-currency transaction in Tally. As I told, the first one is easy management of international trade and finance. Here, this sentence explains that Tally multi-currency features makes it easy to manage international trade and finance. So, by using this multi-currency transaction, you can easily manage international trade and finance. And the next one is atomic currency conversion. So, this sentence highlights that Tally automatically converts the currency, saving time and effort. And next is complying with global accounting standards. This sentence highlights that multiple currency features helps to compile with global accounting standards. So this can also be a compliant which with the global accounting standards. And this is also one of the benefit for the tally. And the next one is simplified foreign exchange management. So this benefit which explains that a tally multi-currency features simplifies the foreign exchange management too. So these are the few benefits which helps you to handle the multi-currency transactions in tally. Now let's understand detailedly explained of each point is given here how to manage the multi-currency transaction in tally. Let's understand one by one in detail. So the first one is enable multi-currency feature. Here the first thing is you have to go to the gateway of tally and select F11, which helps you to give features of a accounting features, and you have to select the accounting features in it, and then you have to click on multi-currency. After this, you have to enable the feature to activate the multi-currency transaction. So enabling this option maintains multi-currency under the forex management section. So after that you have to save the changes here. So let's have an example. You're a company, global trading operators in a multi-currency and wanted to manage a transaction in different currencies. So they enables the multi-currency feature in Tally to activate this functionality. So this can be one of the example how to enable the multi-currency feature. And the next one is setup currency rate. So the setup currency rate is the first thing you have to go to the gateway of Tally, and then you have to select the accounts information, or you can directly go to the currency, and then you have to click on a exchange rate and create it. So you have to define this exchange rate for each currency against the base currency. So you have to enter the details of a foreign country's currency you want to use in your transactions. So later, after entering the details, you have to set a applicable exchange rate for each currency against your base currency. So usually your local currency will be added here. So after setting up, you have to set the exchange rate type. It might be like a fixed automatic fixed or automatic, or a user defined also. So let's have an example. Let's say a global trading sets up a exchange rate for USD or Euro or INR against their base currency. So INR, they defines the exchange rate as 1 USD is equals to 75 INR. 1 euro is equals to 85 INR. So this is how you set your currency rate. And the next one is enter multiple currency transaction. Here, by recording this transaction in a respective currency ledger, the debit or a credit account in a corresponding currency will be entered, and later you have to automatically convert the transaction to the base currency using defined exchange rate. So when you enter this transaction, you have to select the appropriate currency for each transaction. your tally with an automatic conversion, the amount will amount to your base currency using a predefined exchange rate will be done. So you can enter the multiple currency transaction in various models, which include sales, purchase, payments, receipts, journal, vouchers, and more on. So this is how you enter the multiple currency transaction in Tally. For example, here as I told, a global trading records a transaction. For example, when it comes to the debit account, USD will be 10,000. Equivalently to INR 75,000 at 1 USD is equals to 75 INR. So then 10,000 is equals to 75,000. So when it comes to the credit, the euro will be 8,500, which is equivalent to the INR of 72,250. At 1 euro is equals to 85 INR, then 85,000 euros will be 72,250 INR. So this is one of the example for multi-currency transaction. And the next one is view multi-currency report. Here the Tally provides several reports to help you manage multi-currency transactions efficiently. And you have to go to the gateway of Tally, and then you have to choose display, and you have to select the statement of accounts and click on a multiple currency in that. So here you are going to review the multiple currency ledgers and multiple currency balance and other relevant reports to track your transaction in different currencies. So let's have an example. Here you have to generate this report in multiple currencies like balance sheet, profit and loss account, or trade balance. So you have to analyze this financial statement and transaction in each currencies. Let's have an example. Global trading generates a balance sheet report in USD, Euros, and INR. So you will show the company financial position in each currency, right? This is how you view the multiple currency reports. For that you have to follow the steps, like you have to go to the gateway of Tally and go to display, and then you have to select a statement of accounts and then click on multiple currency. And the next one is adjust exchange gain or loss. Here recording this gain or loss on foreign exchange transaction. The adjustment exchange rate has needed to reflect changes in currency value. So, fluctuating in exchange rate may result in exchange gain or loss. And also, the tally automatically calculates the records that gains or loss will be based on different and between the transaction amount and the exchange rates. So, you can view the exchange profit or loss entry in an appropriate ledger account or report. This is how you adjust the exchange gain or losses in Tally. For example, due to the exchange in due to the change in the exchange rate, the global trading will adjust your exchange rate for USD to 1 USD is equals to 78 INR. So the result will be for the gain of INR is 3000 rupees. Here 3000 INR will be 10,000 into 78 minus 75 will be 3000 will be the gain, right? This is how you adjust the exchange gain and exchange losses in a multi-currency transaction in Tally. And the last and the final one is reconcile multi-currency transaction. Here, periodically reconcile your multi-currency transaction to ensure the accurate and consistency in your accounting records. So, regularly reconcile the foreign currency accounts to ensure accuracy. You have to verify the transaction and exchange rates and conversions. So you have to compare the balance in your multi-currency ledger with your bank statement or any other external records. So you can identify any mistakes or any illegal activities in it. So let's have an example. Here the global trading reconciles their USD account will verify that all the transaction, exchange rate and conversions are accurate and up to date. So this is one of the example which demonstrate how this global trading manages this all multiple currency transaction in a tally. So these are the things you have to understand how this multi-currency transaction helps you to manage in tally. So this can also streamline your international financial management too. So let's have a small example which will uh, make you to understand better. So here is an example for you how to manage a multi-currency transaction in Tally. Let's take an example of a company like a global exporters, and the base currency will be Indian rupee, that is INR, and the transactions will be global exports export goods worth $10,000 to the customer in the United States. And the next transaction is the exchange rate is 1 USD is equals to 75 INR. And the next transaction is the company also incurs a freight charge of dollar 500 sorry euros 500 payable to a shipping company in Europe. And the next transaction is the exchange rate is 1 euro is equals to 85 INR. So the first transaction is here the company will export goods worth of 10,000 USD to the customers in USA. And the next transaction is the exchange rate of 1 USD is equals to 75 INR. And the next transaction is the company incurs from a few charges which is related to freight charger, which will be paid to the shipping country company in Europe, that is 500 euros. So the exchange rate of this 1 euro is equals to 85 INR is given. So the first step you wanna do is you have to record the transaction in Tally. So the first step is you have to enable the multi-currency feature. So first you have to go to the gateway of Tally, then you have to click F11 which provides your features, and then you have to click on accounting features, and then you have to choose a multi-currency. And the second step to record the transaction in Tally is you have to set up the currency rate. So you have to go to the gateway of Tally, then you have to select currency and then exchange rate, and later you have to define the exchange rate. Your 1 USD is equals to 75 INR and 1 euro is equals to 85 INR. So the second step is with the help of this transaction which is given in the question, you have to understand that and set up the currency rates which is given in the transaction. And the next step is you have to create a ledger. So here are just three types of ledgers with the separate ledgers. We have to create a separate ledgers for each currency. So according to the transaction in the four transaction, you will understand that USD is one of the separate ledger, and Euro is one of the separate ledger, and INR is a separate ledger for each currencies. And the next one is you have to create a ledger and then record the transaction. So when it is in debit side, you have your the USD 10,000 which is equivalent to the INR of 75,000, like 1 USD is equals to 75 INR. So 10,000 USD will be 75,000 INR. And when it comes to the credit, the sales account will be headed in INR. And in the debit side, the euro will be 50,000 5,000 euro year, which is equivalent to 44,250 in INR. So the 1 euro will be 85 INR, then 500 euros will be 4,250. This will be in the debit side, and the credit will be freight accounts, which is to the INR. This is how you create the ledger. After that, you have to review the multi-currency report. So you have to generate the report in multi-currency, that is USD, EUR, INR. So you have to calculate the total. The total revenue will be in INR is 75,000, and total freight charges will be 4,250 INR, and the total revenue will be 10,000 USD, and total freight charge will be in euros, that is 500 euros. So by following these steps, you have to a company, that is global exporters, can efficiently manage this multi-currency transaction in Tally, and this ensures accurate financial reporting and compliance with the global accounting standards. So this is how you manage the multi-currency transaction in Tally when it is given as a question, or when they ask how to manage this. You have to follow the steps, that is enable multi-currency feature, set up a currency rate, create a ledger, record the transaction, and then you have to review a multi-currency report. All these things will be followed in your Tally. So, this is how you ensure the accurate financial reporting and complying with the global accounting standards. Thank you.